How's it going, guys? And welcome back to another weekly recap. I'm behind as fuck. If you hadn't noticed, I didn't upload for many weeks because my computer was fucked. I actually got my computer back, but I haven't filmed the weekly recaps in the time because, you get demotivated when you don't have a computer, and then I've been busy, which I think I'm not lying. I think I actually have been busy because some people use that as an excuse. No, I think I actually have. But anyway, I'm very behind on weekly recaps. I do apologize. I'm an idiot. I just uploaded one. I didn't have my computer for 3 weeks, but I'm getting back on track, okay? I'm working hard. Like, I actually am. That's the funny thing. But you're not going to believe it. But anyway, let's get straight into it. So, we start with the 4th of May. I already, kind of went through it on the last weekly recap. I quickly recapped the recap because it made sense with regards to my dad staying for the week, so I wanted to include it. But anyway, I will say it again. I woke up, I took Ricky to school, then I slept until 9:30. Then the tea set had arrived that my host mom wanted to give my dad, and then I took a taxi to go to my. I actually wanted to take the metro, and then I was like, I should take a taxi, and it's maybe faster, and I don't have too much time with him, so I should be there fast, right? Took a taxi, and then it took so long. There was so much traffic. I don't know why I thought otherwise, but yeah. The taxi driver was really nice, though. I don't remember what I talked to him about. I just remember I talked to him. I said stuff. I understood very little, and he understood little of me. And then using the translation app, but yeah, he really wanted to talk. He was pulling my phone, wanting to use the yeah, he was cool. Then I chilled with my dad in the hotel room for, I don't know, some hours. And then I took him to the Hong Kong border, said goodbye, which was, I think he was more sad than I was. I don't know, maybe I'm a bad child. I don't miss my mum or my dad it's yeah, I'll see them eventually, you know. Also, I just saw them, and I'm coming home in 3 months. Actually, I'm coming home in less than 2. It's awful. I don't want to go home. Leaving China is gonna be the saddest shit ever. I will be so sad. But anyway, then afterwards, I met up with my Mexican friend and Italian friend, and yeah, my Mexican friend. Maybe she's watching this video. Hello. It was her last time before leaving China because she had the good old Chinese inconveniences, like me, basically getting kicked and being homeless and all that shit. So yeah, talked to her a bit before, leaving, and yeah, that would be the last time I saw her. So that, well, no, never say I'll see her again, maybe. I don't know. There's so many people I meet here where it's you don't know if you'll see them again, but maybe. I don't know. I assume that I will see people again eventually. I sort of just have the assumption that somewhere down the line maybe. But anyway, um, I was late to pick up Ricky because I fucked up because I was. It's because every time I'm always Qigong Miao Station is really big. It takes it takes a really long time to walk from one end to the other. So when you actually, so you're oh, I can take the metro, but then it takes, I don't know. I was late, but the IE picked him up because she's a hero, so that was cool. We played outside, then we had, I'll put my phone in. Then we had dinner where he refused to eat. He took grapes and he refused to sit, and he was just a naughty little shit, and the usual. Then he had lots of homework because I think he'd been sick, or I don't know why he had lots of homework. I think it was because he's sick. He's always sick. Then we did some drawing, some playing, and then I went and got bubble tea and chocolate, and then the internet was complete garbage, so I couldn't do anything. I don't know why. And I also didn't have my computer, so it was no computer, garbage Wi-Fi on the phone. What do you do with your life? But yeah. Then we have the 5th of May, which I woke up at 9, so this is the Saturday. Saturdays I wake up at 9 every day. Sometimes I get woken up earlier though, which is infuriating. And then on weekdays I wake up at 7, and then I will usually go to class, maybe hang out with someone if I don't have class, or just sleep. Take him to school and then go back to bed. Those are the bad days where I get nothing done and just waste away my life. But yeah. Anyway, woke up at 9, took Ricky outside to play outside in the apartment complex. Um, it was like pretty early we went outside. And then he played mostly by himself and rode his bike and stuff. And then, because sometimes he wants to play with me, sometimes he plays with the other kids, and yeah, I don't know. Then we had lunch, and I slept again, even though I'd gotten 10 hours of sleep, so I wasn't even tired. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I do it a lot. So this is like symptoms of depression, except I'm not depressed. Sometimes I feel depressed, I guess. That's very different. But, whenever I'm upset or angry, I just sleep. So here I had no computer, no good Wi-Fi, so I couldn't even use my phone, and like there's literally no reason to breathe. So basically, even though I'd gotten 10 hours of sleep and it was a Saturday, I'm like, well, I guess I just sleep again. Like, what am I supposed to do, really? So I just went back to sleep, which fucking sucked, because it's like, it's such a waste of time, and it's depressing. Like, sleeping when you're not even tired. But yeah, went back to sleep, and then when Ricky woke up, we went to a trampoline park and played together for an hour. Wait, is this the second time we've gone to the trampoline park? It's gotta be, right? I think I already told you guys about the trampoline park. First time we went was 2 hours. That was way too long and I almost died. And then this time was 1 hour. And then we had dinner where Ricky was really slow. And then we read books and went to bed. And then I chilled in my room with the shitty internet. And then I went out with Chinese friends. That was like the only redeeming factor of this day. I remember now. Because having bad Wi-Fi and no computer, I mean, even having Wi-Fi without a computer, I don't know, I told my friends, they're like, oh, why don't you just use your phone? Why don't you watch stuff on your phone? It's like, this phone is like, it's good, but there's no point. I don't know. I can't sit there all day watching YouTube or Netflix. It makes me fucking depressed. I have to also, like, even when I do watch stuff, I have to multitask. I have to be, like, doing other stuff at the same time. I can't just sit there and, like, watch YouTube. It's so fucking boring. So I've missed my computer so much. It's been really, really painful. But, yeah, anyway, I got invited out by Chinese friends that I've already talked about in past vlogs. So I went out, met them at the park. We chilled there for a bit. Everyone was longboarding, I should say. And then we went to a KTV place, which if you don't know KTV, it is the, like, karaoke it's very common in China. Pretty sure it's also, like, pretty popular in Japan. It probably isn't called KTV. And then I imagine Korea as well, maybe. But yeah, it's popular in China. Basically, you go to, like, a room, there's a TV, there's, like, karaoke, and then people sing and people drink, and you eat snacks and you chill. So yeah, we went to the KTV place, and there was me, and then the girl and the guy that I already knew. Then there was a new girl I didn't know. And then I think the guy invited some work colleagues that I didn't really talk to, but they existed. And yeah, everyone was nice, and it was fun, and chilled around. And I heard the Huawei song because like, my host parents have a Huawei phone, which every time it rings, you hear the fucking ringtone for 10 seconds before they pick it up, and it's always like, now I can't even remember. It's something your wings, you learn to fly or something. And it's so annoying. I've heard it a million times. But then, like, they wanted me to sing some English song with them, and I was like, okay. And then we're singing, and we get to the chorus, and I was like, oh shit, I know this song. It's the Huawei song. So yeah, that was fun. But anyway, KTV was fun. I was there till like 1 a.m. and then went home. Also, we had whiskey with green tea. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if it was green tea. But we had whiskey and then they mixed it with I can show you because I have a garbage bin full of crap because I don't clean my room because I'm an awful peer. Okay, this basically. Like this, but different. So not this exact bottle, but imagine like some green tea, like, I don't know, half a liter, and then mixing that with whiskey. I was, somewhat skeptical and confused, but it tasted pretty good. It was alright. And yeah, that was the KTV story, which there's not much to say. It was just chilling and singing in it. So that was the 5th of May, I think, right? Yeah. Alright, so that brings us to the 6th of May, which was a Sunday. I woke up, I hope I'm in focus. I woke up at 9, wasn't too tired, which I mean, in theory you get 8 hours of sleep, but it always takes me so long to fall asleep, so probably not. I went outside for a little, but didn't do much. Like, Ricky didn't want to play anything. And then after that, he was mostly with his parents, which is like the worst, because I never know if I'm supposed to play with him or do anything, or if I can just be like, fuck this, yeah. Like, because of course he wants to play with his parents. Like, yeah, I'm there all the time, right? But anyway, then we had lunch, and then after lunch, I basically had nothing to do again, because I don't have a computer. The Wi-Fi was shit, I'm pretty sure, but even if it's not shit, like, I still have nothing to do. I'm bored out of my mind, like, fuck. Not having a computer is like not having a right arm. It's like, yeah, my left arm functions, but it's not good. Like, I don't know. Like, oh my god, it's like worst 3 weeks. The worst was like they said it would take 1 week to repair it, and I was like, okay, my dad is coming next week. I don't even need a computer. I'll chill with him, which was true, except it didn't take 1 week. It took 2, and then I was like, oh. When do I get my computer? A few days. A few days pass. When do I get my computer? A few days. And it ended up taking 3 weeks, and I'm like, and now I have it back, and now I'm really behind on everything, which I'm trying to work back, and yeah. I actually just uploaded a weekly recap, and then I have to upload another one, and then the one I'm filming now I have to upload, and then it's Saturday today, and then I have to film another one from Thursday, so another week. So I need to upload 3 more, and I need to film 2 more, including the one I'm filming now. So only 1 more, basically. But yeah, I'm very behind, I'm sorry. Also, I don't like talking like this, because I'm talking as if it's I'm talking like the recap, like in the past, but I'm doing it in the present. I don't know. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. I wish I'd filmed it on time and I wasn't useless. Because then you'd also hear me complain more. Because this was like 2 weeks ago, so I'm not as angry about it. But really, I am angry. Like, I had nothing to do, so it's like, okay, I'll sleep again. So I slept for 3 hours. Oh, this day was actually really bad too. So then I slept for 3 hours, right? From 12 till 3, maybe? And then at 4 o'clock, I went down, because usually in my schedule it says I'm supposed to start work at like 4 o'clock again, but it kind of depends on when Ricky wakes up from his nap. Usually I just work more. But anyway, I went down at 4 o'clock to see what was going on, and the entire house was empty, which is really unusual, because usually there's like kids or nannies or someone, like, I don't know. So I was like, the fuck's going on? Whatever. Like, if they ditched me, that's kind of, like, whatever. So I went back to my room. Then at 5:30, the nanny comes home, and she's like, oh, Ricky and his parents aren't going to be home for dinner. It's just us. And I'm like, you fucking serious? And then I asked her when they would be home, and she said she didn't know, which, again, not her fault. So basically, I pretty much had a free day. From 12 o'clock till late at night, the parents were out with their son, which, again, it's fair that they want to go out with their child without having me around. That's more than reasonable. But, like, just tell me. Like, I was invited out for dinner with my Chinese friends. They were like, oh, we want you to come for dinner. And I was like, oh, I can't. I have to work. And then I end up in a scenario where I don't. And it's like, well, like, I could have gone out with Chinese friends. I could have had fun. I could have done, like, I could have also just gone outside. Because on Saturdays and Sundays also, I don't really want to, because it takes me an hour to commute into city centre, so usually it's not really worth it for the 3 hours of free time I have, because it would take me an hour to get there, then I could be there for an hour, and then an hour back. But if I'm free from 12 till 6, that changes things just a bit. So I could have done stuff with my day, but instead it was just wasted because I don't get like told stuff because communication is fucked. So I was pretty pissed. Then I had dinner at 6, and then I went for a walk outside. And it's again, I don't even know how long I can go outside for because the nanny doesn't know what time they're coming back. So it's like, do they come back at 7 or 8 or 9? But I went for a short walk in the neighborhood and got something to drink. And then I came back, and then, yeah, I don't know. Waste of a day, really, and it was annoying. Also, the eye showed me how to cook fried rice and stuff, which was neat. They're keen on showing me how to cook, and I'm just standing there like, yeah, I'm a lost cause, but okay. I actually want to learn how to cook like Chinese stuff though, because I think it's easier to cook because it's just vegetables and boiled rice. But I think it's also superior to like Danish food. Or I don't. Danish food is not really a thing because it's like a mix of cultures, whereas Chinese food is just Chinese. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to like just eat rice when I go to university. Anyway, what else can I say? Oh, I went to the arcade machine, which there's always people like playing, and it's busy, and it looks like DDR, but it's not. It's different. And yeah. Anyway, then I got home. I did nothing. Ricky came home at 8:30, and I read a book with him, and then I put him to bed, and then I went out and bought bubble tea and oh, I got the right one this time. I think I mentioned in another vlog. They always give me the wrong one because that's the usual, because that's the one I always get. But this time I managed to somehow like explain to her that I wanted the other one, and I got it, so that was cool. So now that's my usual that I get every time. But yeah, got home, and then the parents were home, and then I talked to Ricky a little bit, who was still up. I don't know why he's up at 11. Like, he's 5 and he has school the next day. He's lost cause. Like, Jesus. Whenever he's up late, I always cringe. I'm like, this is not going to end well. Tomorrow, it's going to be a bad day, you know? But oh well. Yeah, that brings us to the end of the 6th of May. Alright, so 7th of May, woke up at 7 to take Ricky to school. And the first thing I hear when I wake up is him crying, and I'm like, oh great, that's what happens when you go to bed at 11, when you're fucking 5, like, Jesus Christ. Like, when I go to bed at 11, I'm tired and upset the next day, and I'm an adult that probably needs less sleep. I think I actually need a lot of sleep, and my head is fucked, and I have, like, a really hard time falling asleep, and the sleep quality I get is awful, so I'm just always tired. But, even then, like, Jesus. Anyway, like, I went to take him to school and he cried because I wouldn't carry him because it was raining outside, and I guess he didn't want to touch like the water. I'm like, fuck off, I'm not carrying you. And I yeah, walked with him. He's crying the whole way to school. Then he cries because I wouldn't hold his water bottle, which again I'm like, no, carry your own weight. So then he keeps crying, so he's just tired. Basically drop him off at school, and I just look at his teacher and I'm just like, he is your problem now. And she's like, I know. Like, such a lost cause. He just runs to her crying, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, fuck. And then, yeah, I went back home and slept until 10 a.m. And then I met up with the others for lunch at the dumpling place, and we chilled. And I don't actually remember who I met up with or why it was at 10. Oh, I probably slept till 10 because then I met the others who have class on Mondays and ate lunch with them. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah. I got home at 4, transferred my photos, which I didn't have my computer, so I'd just been I'd take my hard drives and then just use the family's computer to transfer the photos. That's how I've been functioning. If they didn't have a computer, I would have been fucked. Because I've still been taking lots of photos while I have been fucked. And I did film 2 weekly recaps as well, while having no computer. So there you go. But yeah, and I'm making sure to put them on both hard drives now because I'm so scared. Like, when I saw that puddle of water on top of my computer and my hard drive wasn't working, I thought I'd lost my photos, and I was like really close to killing. Like, Jesus Christ, it was bad. Worst thing I've heard in a while. What? I feel like I scratch my nose all the time, and people think like, eh. Anyway, what else? I picked up Ricky, and then I let him play outside for 30 minutes before his dad came home and took him home. I was like, why? And then his dad went to work, so he just basically ushered Ricky home, and I was like, fuck, don't take him home. It's so much easier to play outside. And then when we went home, he cried over he wasn't allowed to get candy. Then he cried for his grandmother, and I told him to fuck off. And I basically just held him for like 30 minutes like this. I'm just holding him. Maybe it wasn't. But I was just holding him for 30 minutes where he's like crying and yelling and screaming and throwing a tantrum. And then even his grandmother's like, fuck off. Like, I'm holding him. He's crying and screaming and bawling his eyes out. And his grandmother's getting angry at him and getting the ruler and being like, fucking shut up. And he's just such a lost cause. And yeah. And then eventually she tried to comfort him, and I'm like, why? Like, let him be an idiot. Then we had dinner, and then after that we basically did nothing. We played a bit in the playpen, but Ricky was like super obnoxious, like jumping around, being annoying. Like, he has so much energy and it's annoying. And yeah, then I read for him, and then I went to my room. And then it rained outside, so I couldn't do anything. That was even worse. Like, it rained, so now not only did I not have a computer to do anything, I couldn't go outside because it was raining. I think the internet had gotten a little bit better, so I could use my phone, but it was still awful. Like, fuck, dude, my life is so hard. Not having a computer is like, I don't know. I don't know how anyone can do it. It's also because everything I do is on the computer. The only thing I care about is photos, video. I like watching stuff, which you can argue you can do on the phone, but to me it's not the same. And then, I don't know, I don't even know what I do, but it's like, it really was like losing, I don't know, not even one arm, like losing both arms. Like, it was really fucking shit. Alright. But that was the 7th of May. I feel like this vlog is just one big complaint, but really, like, so fucking bad. Such a bad week, because it's like I have nothing to do. The only thing I can do to pass time is sleep, which that's really depressing. Anyway, 8th of May. I woke up at 7, took Ricky to school, and then I went to class. Our teacher was sick, so we watched a movie where the subtitles were hard to read, so I'm not going to say I got 100% of the movie's like plot, but it was called 20 again. I think, let me actually Google it really quick. This is how professional I am. Just stop the video, there's no cuts, because that would be too smart. 20 again. Chinese movie. What's it called? 20 Once Again, sorry. It's with Luhan. And anyway, watch that. It was an okay movie. I still think that Taiwanese movie we watched was way better. But yeah, it was a pretty good movie. It was okay. And then we headed to Link City for lunch, which I didn't eat lunch. I've become such a degenerate. There is regularly where I don't eat lunch, I just drink a bubble tea, and then I call it a day. I'm like, I had bubble tea, that's almost a meal. Like, eh. So that actually happens way more often than it should, which I would say it's cheaper than lunch, but it doesn't even have to be. There's sometimes I spend more money on my drink than my food, which is really fucking sad. But yeah. Had the bubble tea, which I had the cocoa bubble tea, which I just want to talk about because like the bubble tea meta, I would say cocoa is one of the better ones. Like, there's Decasi, which I used to drink. It's the one closest to the agency where I have class. But Decasi is kind of shit now. I don't enjoy it as much. Cocoa has like really good tapioca balls, and it's really good. And yeah, I don't know. Oh, also cocoa is one quite cheaper, which I know doesn't really matter. But like, if you're paying less money for a better product, it's kind of like, you know, like they could take one more and it would still be fair, but theirs is one cheaper, one quai. So yeah, cocoa is where it's at. That's actually the good bubble tea. Anyway, then I chatted with my friend from the Netherlands, in case you care. And then we went to a supermarket, and then we went to a big arcade where there was a girl that, like, seemed like she knew what she was doing. She was pretty good. Again, at the Chinese DDR game. So, yeah, she was pretty good. Then I went home at 4 and went to the mall where I live, and I tried the Chinese DDR, the dance game, and it was like, oh, I actually got so angry. That game is so much harder than it looks, or some, maybe, like, I know part of it, it's because DDR is like front arrow, back arrow, left, right. This game is arrow facing to the left, arrow facing to the right, so like sideways instead, and then the same but opposite, and then there's two on the side, and then there's a middle button. So basically, I have no muscle memory. I don't know where to put my feet, because in DDR my feet move themselves. I don't have to think. I just read the chart and my feet do, like, they're autopilot, right? Because I have muscle memory. But here I didn't know where to put my feet. And then you have to do stuff with your hands, and it was so hard. And I was real cocky and arrogant too. I couldn't really read Chinese, but I know there was a beginner mode and a not beginner mode. And of course I picked the non-beginner mode. And then I just failed miserably, and I know the employees were watching me play, and I left without, I didn't even look at them. I was like, fuck. So that was super embarrassing. And I haven't been back there since either. I would like to, but it's like, I don't know. I think if I played it for like an hour or something, maybe I could be good. But like, it was super embarrassing. But yeah, what are you gonna do? Can't be good at everything. Or anything, apparently. Yeah, then I chilled at home. I picked up Ricky, and basically we had dinner straight away. And then he took forever to eat. I feel like I say that so many times, but really, it's insane. And I tried not chatting with him, but no, I tried chatting with him. Sorry. And then at one point, his dad just tells me not to talk to him for dinner. So it started out with me eating dinner with him and trying, like, feeling pressured to talk. Because I feel like when the parents are around, I have to talk. It's weird if I'm just quiet, you know? So it started out with me being pressured to talk, and I really felt like I had to keep conversation. Then it got to the point where I wouldn't talk as much, and I was like, okay, I'm chilling. And now it's at the point where the parents are telling me, don't talk to him while he eats too slow. So now, like, when I finish dinner, I just go sit in the couch in the living room, or like, maybe if the baby's still there and the parents are still eating dinner, I'll chill for a bit. But like, I leave the dinner table now. I don't have to communicate with him at all. The dad like messages me, don't talk to him. We are trying not to talk to him during dinner because yeah, he's so slow. It's insane, and just yeah, really useless at eating. And the baby's the exact opposite. He eats everything and anything and everything and really fast. And yeah. After that, we all watched a Chinese movie together, which I think it was like a war movie. It was called Wolf of War 2, I think. Which I actually want to watch it again because I only watched it I started watching it halfway through, which that means I didn't get any of the context. But yeah, that was quite a gory movie. Gory? That's not the right word. I don't know if gore is the right word. It had a lot of blood and stuff in it. At one point, a guy's throat got slit, and the blood. Imagine like this is the camera, Imagine you have a camera, and then you put glass in front of the camera, and then you spray blood on top of it, so it actually looks like it's on top of the camera frame. If that makes sense. That basically happened. I was like, oh, this is a nice movie for a 5-year-old. But yeah, we watched that, and it was decent. And then after we finished the Chinese movie, Ricky sort of just went off with his parents and did his own thing, and I was like, fine by me. And then yeah, I chilled in my room watching YouTube and just wasting time because again, I have nothing to do. So sad. But yeah, that was the 8th of May. Da 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 da. That brings us to the 9th of May. Be a bit excited. I don't fucking know. I woke up at 7, I took Ricky to school, and then I went back to sleep at 11. Which, again, it just shows how, like, useless it... Like, under normal circumstances, even with a computer, I would be kind of useless. Like, it's not uncommon for me to do something like that. especially because sometimes I just lack sleep, to be honest. But like when I don't have a computer, there's like literally no reason not to do it. I woke up, chilled, had lunch, and then afterwards I filmed a weekly recap that I was behind on because I've just been behind as fuck. I mean, it didn't matter that I was behind because you can't upload anything if you don't have a computer, can you? But I did. I filmed it, so that's like half the battle or something. I don't fucking know. And then after that, I went for a walk because again, I have nothing to do. Nothing like really. And I just followed the metro station because the metro here where I live is above ground. It's like in the sky. Is that there's gonna be someone that's like it's a monorail or something like that? But no, it's the metro. Shut up. But yeah, it's in the sky. So I just followed that. I walked like following that for like 4 stations because that was my entertainment. It was pretty chill. It was way too hot outside. I got bubble tea and then I went to some random park where there were loads of old people dancing, and I love parks in general, but mostly in China. Like there was old people dancing and singing and doing this thing with not fans, cloth. I want to say like red cloth, purple, like colored cloth, and they're dancing and doing like waving it around. It's chill. There was some people practicing kickboxing, like really just chill environment. You can tell it's like far away from city center and it's like residential area though, because everyone stared at me. Like when I walk in the city center, people still stare, but not as much. Like when I go out like far away, and also where I live here, like people look more at me. So in this park, everyone's just like, and then I said hello to people, and they're like, hello. I'm like, yes. People get really happy. That's the cool part, though. Like, people stare, but it's like in a good way. I want to say most of the time, at least. Like everyone's really happy and friendly. I say hello to people, and everyone smiles. You know. So. Then I took the metro home, talked to the baby, and then I chilled a bit before I picked up Ricky. Picked him up and went home and watched cartoons on the dad's phone, and then we had dinner. And then again, he takes forever to eat. So now the parents, none of us talk to him, so he eats faster, but it doesn't work really. But anyway, I watched the baby. Oh, this was really fun. This is a good story. I think I have 2 good stories actually. So basically, the baby is spinning in circles, in like on one spot, just spinning, and I'm telling him, stop spinning. You're an idiot. You're going to get hurt. Like, please stop spinning. And he keeps spinning, and I don't stop him. I just explain to him, you're gonna get dizzy and you're gonna get hurt. Like, stop spinning. You're gonna get dizzy. You're gonna get hurt. I keep saying it. He keeps spinning. Then eventually, after spinning around like 10 times or something, he tries to run as fast as he can, but he's obviously dizzy. And then he runs directly into the side of the fridge. And it was so fucking funny. I laughed so hard at it. Like, I can't remember if there was anyone else there. Maybe the grandmother. No, the grandmother definitely saw it. I don't know if she was laughing. I don't think she was. But I laughed so hard. It, like, for one thing, it's just hilarious seeing him run into the fridge. It's not the first time either. But also, like, I told him many times, I'm like, you know, stop spinning. You're going to get dizzy and get hurt. And then you just run. Ooh, exactly what I, like, thought would happen. I honestly, I wish I'd filmed it. It was so funny. He runs into the fridge, like, full speed, head first. And then just doof, and falls over. And I'm like, oh. Could have seen that one come. And then he started spinning again later. And I was like, are you really gonna, like, repeat the success? Because I will laugh again. Like, I think it's fun. Every time the baby gets hurt, I'm always laughing. Most of the time, the others are not laughing. They're like... There was also some other time that week, I can't remember, where he also, like, fell and got hurt, and I'm, like, laughing, and then I see the mum's not laughing. I'm like, oh, I guess it's not funny. Okay, my bad. But it's really funny. You just, yeah. There was also, I don't know if I'd said this in another vlog, but basically I was eating dinner with the baby, and then I'm sitting with my arm like this on the table, and he takes his hand and he hits me like this 3 times, and I was like, no, fuck you. So then I took his arm and I hit him 3 times. I was like, how do you like it? How does that feel? So yeah, I'm a childish baby, basically. I do exactly the same shit to them as they do to me. But yeah, he hit me 3 times. I hit him 3 times back. And like the look of confusion and disgust on his face was like the best thing ever. I laughed so hard. He just looks at me like this, like, ugh. Like he was disgusted. He was confused. Why would I hit him? And he was like disgusted by my behavior. Like, why would you do such a thing? It was like I'd killed his cat or something. I don't know. It was really funny. And then the grandmother's just laughing as well because she saw me do it. She's like, but yeah, that was really funny. I just made him look. He looked so confused. But yeah, that was a good meme. And yeah, what else happened? But yeah, him running into the fridge was really funny. The mum didn't think so, but it was. It was. I can promise you. I saw it. I even predicted it. Then yeah, I played a bit with him, and he tried spinning again, and I was like, fucking Jesus Christ. Like, natural selection would not let this, like, baby get through, or toddler, or whatever. He would die, 100%. He's lucky that he has, like, people around him looking at him constantly being like, don't climb this, don't climb that, like, don't die. Because, like, natural selection, he'd be dead in an instant. They would, like, no. He's such a lost cause. But anyway. We played a bit, and then, like, what else happened? Like, we did some reading and stuff. Oh, and then, oh yeah, the baby fell again. Ricky ran away through the hallway, and then the baby tried following him, and then he fell face first into the marble floor, I guess? It's like stone floor. It's marble, I'm pretty sure. Falls face first into the marble floor, which, that time I didn't, it's like, half the time it's really funny when he falls. It's like, actually, it's like 80% of the time. 80% of the time it's really entertaining when he falls and gets hurt, because it's like, I don't know, it's just funny. You can just tell. And then he cries and you tell him to shut up. But there's sometimes where he makes a noise, like, imagine you smash your head into something, and it makes a noise, and I'm like, oh, I just cringe. Like, there's sometimes, like, it's really bad. And this was one of those where he just, like, slams his head face first into the floor. Like, yeah, that was a bad one. Luckily, he didn't really get hurt, but I don't know, that didn't sound nice. I feel like that's how you lose your teeth. Or, like, I don't know, get hurt. And then what else? Yeah, then I went to my room and sat on my phone because I still didn't have a PC. And then I asked the host mom about traveling to Beijing because we're apparently doing that, but still no plans. And yeah, I told her my plans in 7 days and how I wanted to do that for 7 days, and she didn't really respond, so I didn't know how to gauge that reaction. And I asked her again about my vacation. I don't know what's happening. And then Ricky came to my room late with my pocket money and looked around my room and stuff. And that was the day. So that was the 9th of May. Alright, so 10th of May, the Thursday. I woke up at 7:40, took a shower, had noodles, and then headed to class. Our teacher was sick again, so it was the other teacher who taught us, but like I guess she didn't have a plan teaching us because she didn't know the teacher was sick. So basically we just chilled out and like we learnt 2 different Chinese songs, which I can show you one of them. Oh, so far away, something. Oh, whatever. Alright. Whoa! This. You can pretend to read or something. I will show you a Chinese song. I'm not going to sing because I can't sing and I don't want to, but there you go. Hocus Pocus, song in focus. So there you go. So that was the song we learned. We also learned another one, but I don't have that one on hand. So. But yeah, we learned 2 songs. It was kind of like a waste of time. Like it's one of those where it's like, yeah, we kind of learnt 2 songs, but like you don't need to spend, I don't know, kind of a waste of time, but you're being social with friends and hanging out, so I guess it's all good. Like, yeah, it's alright. Pretty chill. And then afterwards, I headed to Dongmen because it was... Fuck, I can't keep the camera still, I'm sorry. I headed to Dongmen because it was my free day, and I met up with 3 of my friends. And we ate lunch, which, oh my god, this was bad. Oh, this was a bad day. I'm so angry and disappointed. Holy shit. Okay. That's just my spoiler reaction. Okay. We tried to find a Western restaurant, which we couldn't find. Then we ended up in a street food place, and there was some fried rice that looked pretty good. So I was like, okay, I will take them. And then they were like stale as fuck. And I remember my friend asking me like, because I didn't eat all of them, and she's like, they're not good, and I was like, oh, they're okay. But like then as the day progressed, I got more and more angry. And at this point, they were fucking bad. I wouldn't eat them if I was paid to eat them. But that's also because I'm like, I got progressively more and more upset about them. Because I paid 18 for um for fried rice, which that's it's not expensive, but like you can definitely get it for like 13 or 10. Like I actually remember there was some free day, maybe a few like 3 days ago, where we had fried rice at a street food place and it cost 10 and that was really good. So now I'm paying 18 for fucking garbage. Like, oh my god, I was angry. Like, that was so fucking shit. And that, like, because I get really upset about bad food. And it's, like, it's disappointing and it ruins my day. Like, my day is based on, like, how good the food is, you know? So I was pretty upset about that one. Let me see. But I had bubble tea from Coco, and I think that's why I also wasn't that angry when I was eating lunch, because if you have bubble tea, you're pretty happy. So I was drinking bubble tea, and then my lunch was like average, like bad, but I didn't care as much. And then throughout the day, I got more disappointed with the lunch. But yeah, cocoa bubble tea is good. It's one of the best bubble teas, I would say. I already said that in this video. I think cocoa. Let me see. I wrote something down. I think cocoa's the best. And then also the bubble tea place where I live, but that's not a like chain store. It's a convenient. No, it's a tea house. There's two tea houses where I live that are pretty good, but Coco is the best chain store maybe. There's also one called A Little Tea or like Dian, which is maybe the same level as Coco. I can't honestly tell. I've heard people say it's better. I don't know if I agree. There's always so much like queue time there and so big lines, but I don't know if it's better. But it's pretty. It's either tier 1 or 2, and then Gongcha is also tier like 1 or 2, and then I think Dakasi is like tier 3. It's not as good. And then I don't know if there's other ones. There are, but I don't know. Royalty is not good. That's like worse than Dakasi. That's like a tier 3 or tier 4. Like, nah, that's not good. But yeah, it was funny though because I wanted to go to Coco because there was like 4 different bubble tea places in this like area where we were, and then my friends were also like they suggested it before I suggested it, and I was like, oh, and they're like, it's funny. So like yeah, we all agreed that we all agreed on like the tier list sort of like I think it's generally agreed upon. And yeah, it's really funny because one of my friends like her and me are like the ones I think that are craziest about bubble tea, or at least talk about it the most. I don't know. And yeah, it's getting to the point now where we're becoming the like elitist snob types, where it's like if we stay in China long enough, it'll probably get to the point where we don't drink the chain store ones. It's just tea houses. Because tea houses are pretty good, but usually it's even more expensive. And also you don't really, like, it's not a known quality, you know? Like, tea houses are all different quality. Whereas, well, actually, my friend says she can taste the difference between the cheese in Dakasi in Chigomiao and the tea in Dakasi at a different place. So maybe there is a difference, but, like, generally speaking, like if you eat McDonald's in like Denmark or you eat it in another country, it's going to be sort of the same cheeseburger. Honestly, quality does vary, especially if you're hopping countries, but it's going to be sort of similar, you know. So with the chain milk tea, you kind of know what you're getting, whereas with tea houses, you don't. But I live closer to tea houses, and both of those are really good. Anyway, the point was just that we're becoming bubble tea snobs, and if I live here for too long, I'm definitely going down that route. Because, yeah. Anyway, after a shit lunch, the girls wanted to shop for clothes, so they did. I didn't care. They were, like, apologizing to me, like, oh, sorry you have to, like, be here for this, or, like, eh. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, why would I care? I don't... If I'm just chilling with friends, I don't... I actually fucking hate shopping, but if it's not me doing it, it's okay. Then I can just muck about. If I have to, like, search for clothes and know I have to buy something, then it's frustrating. That's, like, an awful process. But anyway. Also, if it's my sister, because she takes, like, 2 years to shop, but that's a different story. Um, and then also, then we headed to the cinema, which we had to be there at 4:30, I think, and we were late, partly because we had to buy bubble tea, which there's a bubble tea place at Link City, which people watching these vlogs aren't in China, some of them, and not in Shenzhen, so you have no clue, but Link City is the place to be, and there's a bubble tea place there that was really good. It had like 3 different types of jelly in it, and it was 14 kwai, so that was really good. My friend recommended it, so yeah, again, she knows what's up. We need like a bubble tea map that shows the different places where bubble tea is and which ones are there and what quality it is. But yeah, we went to watch the movie, and we got there a little, like, we actually managed to get there like 2 minutes late, so it wasn't too bad. And then I'm gonna leave this in, but like, my friend had like the best quotes. So we're running late, and then it's like we were like 1 kilometer away on the map, and then my friend is like, no, we were 700 meters away, and my friend said, oh no, that's almost 1 kilometer, and I was like, yes, you're correct. And then shortly after, she followed it up with, well, actually, in school you can run 100 meters in like 10 seconds, and I'm like, sure. So I don't know, but we made it to the cinema in time, and it was actually really, really good. I want to talk about that for a little bit. We saw Ready Player One, which I hadn't even watched a trailer for. I actually hate watching trailers. I think they spoil too much. I watched the trailer for Ready Player One after I'd seen it in the cinema, and I felt like it spoiled too much of the story, and it was a shit trailer. But anyway, I hadn't heard of the movie at all. The day before we agreed to go watch it, I googled it and just saw it was a sci-fi movie, and I was like, sure, whatever. But yeah, it was a really good movie. Visually, it was quite stunning. We saw it in 3D, which I don't know if you care about, but yeah, visually it was quite stunning. It was like an in-game universe mixed with real life, and it was blended in like quite well. And yeah, it just looked visually like appealing. And then the soundtrack was great. Like the first song they played was "Tears for Fear." Everybody wants to rule the world. So like yeah, the soundtrack was also great. It had a lot of good songs, and then the concept was also interesting. I realize it's not the first movie to tackle the whole like, oh, virtual reality, people playing virtual reality and not being in the real world. I've seen the concept before. However, VR is becoming more relevant. You know, like I think the movie I saw with it or whatever was before even like the Vive or the Oculus Rift existed. So obviously it's becoming more relevant at the moment. So I think it's interesting, and also, yeah, it's still original enough, even though it's been tackled a few times. I still think it's pretty original plot. Also, it's based on a book, so it's which is more than like, which is a bit old, right? So yeah, and apparently people, I read reviews and stuff. Apparently people say the book is much better, and the movie kind of is bad. But the movie, as someone who hasn't read the book, only seen the movie, there were some things I didn't like that probably are better in the book, but generally speaking, I think that the movie was good. I liked it. So if I can't speak. I'm speaking too fast. If the movie was good, then the book is probably great. Like really. Oh, well, the movie was great too. The book is probably just like pew. I don't know. I haven't read it. I can't say. But yeah, I think the plot was kind of bad. Like it was very predictable. That's what my friend said, and I agree with her. And also just like the pacing was too fast, I think, which is also what I read afterwards in people's discussions. Like, which obviously, if you have a book, the pacing doesn't need to be as fast. But when you're trying to cram a whole book into a 2-hour movie, you have to like do the fast pacing. So I think the story was kind of shitty, predictable, and too fast pacing. There should be way more filler. But yeah, that's probably a problem with the movie concept. Like you probably could have cut the movie into maybe a 2-part movie. But also you have to make it appeal to the mainstream, not the people reading the book. But I would have watched a second part. I think that yeah, the pacing was a bit fast. But also you're comparing, when I said the story was shit, it wasn't shit. It's just it's not as good as the visuals and the soundtrack, which I thought were very good. So yeah. afterwards we walked around like outside Link City, like the city center where the Ping An building is. Which, if you don't follow me on Instagram, like fucking do it. I don't know how to plug myself, but yeah, follow me on Instagram. The name is Oidoi, and I post photos of China, I guess, and Japan and stuff. I don't know. I have some buildings of the Ping An building, and I don't know if I've featured that in a video yet. I know there's a video coming that has it, but I don't know if I've featured it yet. But basically, it's the fourth tallest building in the world, and it's quite cool and beautiful. So we chilled around that area, took some photos, and then we went for dinner, which I got fucked again. Like, this is why I'm upset, alright? So me and my friend, we weren't that hungry because we'd had this bubble tea that was really big, and that fills you up, right? And it was at like 4 p.m. So we didn't want to eat a full meal, so we were debating on like doing this thing at the dumpling place with eating a bit and stuff, but then we didn't. Then we went to a Vietnamese restaurant, and I bought 2 spring rolls for 18. And then they were decent, but it wasn't enough food to fill me up. And it was quite expensive. Like 2 spring rolls for 18. You can get like so much more for so much less in like a lot of other places. And yeah, it was really fucking shit. Cause then I was left like blue balls. I was like hungry, but I'd obviously eaten something, so I couldn't eat a full meal now. And I couldn't eat another small meal because it's like I've already spent like 18 on these. I felt really fucked over. Like, I didn't get any value for money, and the thing I ate was like average. And my friend, she did one of my friends got a full meal, and I think she was happy. And then my other friend, who like she was full, she also got fucked over. So I had shitty fried rice for lunch, and then I didn't get a proper dinner, and I paid too much. Like, I actually could have paid 18 and gotten a proper dinner if we'd eaten somewhere, you know? Instead, I paid 18 for fucking snacks that weren't even that good. And then, you know what the worst part is? When I, like, finished class that day, and I was going for, like, before I went to lunch with the others, oh shit, what the fuck? Before I went to lunch with the others, I actually attempted to buy a sweet baozi roll, just as, like, a snack, and the baozi lady was out of them. She's like, I don't have any. So, like, literally nothing that day went my way. I didn't get any of the, my tripod is dying. I didn't get any of the food I wanted. No bouts, no good lunch, no good dinner. Everything was fucking garbage. The only redeeming factor was that I got 2 milk teas that were good. But like, really, I was so sad. But yeah, we chatted a bit in the Vietnamese restaurant that fucking screwed me over. And then I headed home at 9, which meant I was home at 10. And then I chilled a bit before going to bed. So yeah, that was my free day on the 10th of May. Alright, so just as an ending note, I'm going to try to pump these weekly recaps out like very fast and get back up to speed, so I'm actually filming them like when they're actually happening instead of this bullshit where I'm filming from behind. At least I'm actually doing it though. I could just be 3 weeks behind and then just be like, oh fuck, I forgot to write down what I did. Oh, I didn't have it. So you still get to see what I'm doing in China. It's just delayed. And I guess you also will have to watch, like, instead of watching one, like, hour-long video a week, you're watching, like, 4 hour-long videos in 4 days. Presuming you watch them all, which I don't know if you do. But yeah, I apologize. My computer's fucked me, and it's been pretty shit. But I'm getting back on track now, and I will work to get everything sorted and not have this fucking mess. Because it's frustrating for me. So yeah, thanks for watching, appreciate it. You can hear the military dudes going nuts, but yeah, I will see you guys later, peace.